I feel like this. Shout out to Buddhism. Listen, shut up. Listen. I don't like. Jesus came back.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Black Box LOL. Today we got a comedian named Vineet Loya. He's one of the comedians that I have great reverence for, because that man, he'll go get it. You know what I mean? And I like, hey, you know me, I like anybody that go get it, baby. Hustle's credo, you know what I mean? I like everybody who gonna jump out there on their block and go make it work, you know what I'm saying? So, shit, fuck it, man. Let's just go and get into it, man. Let's go. Yeah, man. That's how that works. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and start this thing, man. Here with the homie, Vineet. Vineet is a special comedian.
Special?
Yeah. And it's not just because Vineet say some of the darkest shit possible on stage. He say some of the darkest shit. But besides that, Vineet is a real traveling comic. Like, we've been rocking with each other for a minute now. And one day I just noticed on Instagram, every time he posts something, he's somewhere else. Like, we live in the same city. How come you keep being somewhere else? And they come to find out, he just said fuck it and just left. and for those of y'all that's cracking on my shirt, because I know I got this stain right here. I was eating some Wendy's, so this stain right here is courtesy to Wendy's. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
it's delicious. I mean, that's a sign.
Absolutely, the spicy chicken. You know what I mean? But tell them about your journey and what made you decide, you know what, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump out there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, partially it was, I was forced into it, but also I've been thinking of doing this for like over a year. Last year, I had an opportunity to travel from Atlanta to San Francisco, and I was hitting different cities and doing shows at different places. And I loved it so much. I was like, if I can do this full time or, you know, every single day, that would be awesome. And I think the universe was listening, because earlier this year, then I lost my job, and I was like, I have two options. Either I stay here in Atlanta while I'm still finding job, or do what I said I would do, which would be travel and do comedy. So I chose the more tougher part. It's still scary, I won't lie, because a lot of times I don't even know where I'm heading next.
Right.
I don't know how I'm going to manage my living, you know, my stay and other pieces, like how I'm going to eat. And especially I'm vegetarian, so that makes it even more difficult, you know, like dietary restrictions. So, but it's still an adventure. Yeah. That's what I love about it. Like, every day is an adventure. Just trying to figure out like what shows I can go on, and go up there and feel the vibe of like a whole different type of people, you know? Like, I've been performing stand-up in Atlanta for a second, right? But like going to a different city and seeing people which you probably never would see again, and they have their own subculture.
So let me, because you just did Florida.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you see as the major differences between the scene in Atlanta versus, well, I'll say Atlanta, because then I'm trying, that's me comparing a city to a state. Right. So then, because you went, Tampa?
I did Orlando, Miami, Tampa. I mean, those were the major cities, but I also did like Jacksonville, Gainesville, like one day each. And
so how would you compare the scene here versus there?
Yeah, it's different. And that's the other eye-opening part, because, you know, once you go to a particular city, the scene is completely different. Orlando is similar to Atlanta vibe in the sense, like, you know, there are a lot of open mics and a lot of shows. And some shows, there are only comics. No audience. Miami was a different giant. Miami was like the first couple of days I was in Miami, I was having really hard time because I had a great time in Orlando, and now I'm in Miami and doing almost the same exact jokes, and it's not hitting. So I had to adapt. Like I'm kind of person who like to interact with people and learn from them, right? So one of the Miami comic, he told me, he gave me a tip, like, hey, in Miami, people want more interaction. So make it about them. sure, you want to tell your jokes, but also see how you can interact with them and make it about them. And once I started using that, I was having a good time. So instead of like directly getting into my bit, I would like interact with the audience and then get into my bit. So it kind of become, they feel that they are part of it, which it's kind of true everywhere, but more so in Miami.
Right.
Yeah. And Tampa is like one of those places where I think if I want to open a club, Tampa would be one of the places where I would do that, because there are fewer clubs and there is hunger for comedy, like from comics as well as from the audience. Like some of the mics I've been to, there were audience members. They paid to watch the open mic. Yeah, like showcase is pretty normal, right? Also in Tampa, comics pay to perform, like at some of the venues. So I feel like there is a big opportunity because it's also like a tourist town. So a lot of people go there and they want to have a good time. So comedy is like one of the things people seek out. So they pay to go to open mic, which is very fewer places can do that. So in that sense, Tampa was unique. But I had a great run. Like in every city I went, I got a lot of love from comics and people. Yeah. I mean, I feel that kind of makes me even double down or triple down at this point. Right, because this is the path I wanted to take this path. I'm on that path now, and I'm gonna continue to walk on that path. Yeah. But yeah, however,
full time.
Yeah. Well, until I find a job, because I'm dealing with the whole different mess, right? My immigration thing. So yeah, that also kind of forced me to be more innovative about it. Because in the worst case scenario, I might have told you, but in the worst case scenario, I might have only a few months in America. So I was like, I feel kind of like a cancer patient, like I have like only a few months, so let me just go on a bang.
One of the darkest comedians. Yeah, dude, that's like a cancer patient. Have you do you sell merch when you're out?
I did not, because I cannot.
Oh, I got you.
Again, the immigration, don't get me started on that bullshit. Yeah. And also, like, I can't do paid gigs, so I wasn't even like looking for paid gigs. Yeah. Even when I was here, I had like, I used to run a couple of rooms, right? I didn't make any money out of it because I don't want to get into immigration struggle. You know what I mean? Like begging, so, but I was, if I have an option, I'll definitely do merch. Because that's like a good way to kind of,
sustain.
Sustain, connect with people. Especially, I have like some of these wild taglines, and like people, if they just look at the tagline, they'll be like, "What is that?" It makes them kind of curious. I have this whole plan, like if or when I do merch, I'm gonna have like a tagline or punchline in the front and a QR code on the back, so people can scan that QR code and watch my clip doing that tagline. Right. So it becomes kind of like, oh shit, we know. Now we know the inside joke, or we know what is now. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: what in your opinion? I know when you went to India, have you performed in India?
Yeah, I did 3 or 4 mics. Yeah.
So what would you say the difference in comedy between here and there?
मुझे आज भी clearly question याद. The question was, write a short note on entrepreneurship.
I don't feel comfortable speaking for comedy in India because I haven't done enough to kind of form an opinion. But based on my limited opinion, there is a lot more hunger in India for comedy. Like similar to how I described in Tampa scene, right? Like there are people who are there for open mic. In India, I saw like, the room full of people for mics. And the first show I went on, it was a Telugu show. It's one of the languages. And I don't know Telugu. I mean, I understand Telugu, but I can't speak Telugu properly. So I performed in English and, with my accent and some of the jokes which kind of runs here. It's hard to do that there. You know what I mean? So this is my goal. Like when I go to India next time, I'm gonna write material specifically for India to see like, but people are people, right? Like once
Right,
you have a good
absolutely.
joke,
Yeah.
you're gonna be able to just modify some of the pieces to kind of connect with the people of different cultures.
So most of the I know y'all wondering why it seems like they keep sliding to the right. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why the camera is moving this way. I don't know if we just high and so we slide and talking at the same time. I don't know. I don't know if the camera's going, because the camera is stable. It's on a tripod. My cameraman is behind it doing his thing. I don't know why we sliding to the right, but just continue on with the interview, man. It's a good interview. So you didn't find the language as a huge barrier, being that you was doing it in English?
Yeah, so the first 2 mics I did it in English, and I did find some of the people, or I was losing people. You know what I mean? Because it's hard enough to understand my accent here, let alone in India too. Because plus the concepts, you know my jokes, I do a lot of dark, so that's also kind of like people need to trust you before they can laugh at something darker. So, but there are so many different things going in my mind. But the third show I did, I had a better time because I did it in like English, more Hindi than English. So mostly in Hindi and few words in English or few sentences in English.
Okay.
So that was kind of also relieving because, you know, I speak Hindi, you know, from back of my hand.
Yeah.
So it was more about like adapting to the situation. At least I was having more conversational performance than kind of like just getting into the jokes.
It was great because my buddy went to Japan, and I was telling him, I was like, man, I want to come over there. I was like, but I gotta study up on some on my Japanese,
right?
You know, so at least I can start to get over there. And he was like, bro, you don't got to do none of that.
Yeah.
I was like, no. He's like, no. He said, man, everybody over there speaks English.
Right.
He said, you go on the stage, you just speak English. They already speak the language.
Right.
I said, damn.
Right.
Okay.
That's kind of true in India too. However, it's even though India, at least as in my opinion, most of the Indians are caught up in the subcultures happening in America.
Right.
But only the one which make bigger noise. You know what I mean? Like say cancel culture. So everyone, or most of the people would know what cancel culture mean or Me Too movement mean.
Yeah.
But the nuances, like, hey, Bill Cosby did this shit, and they'll be like, who is Bill Cosby?
You make me feel young again. You make me feel very excited. Look at me.
But don't die right now here, please.
What do you mean, don't die?
At the time, nobody thought much.
So, you know what I mean? Like when you have those English jokes, you want to use references either which are kind of at a global level or specific to that culture.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I learned from that experience because, and I did do that like in my second and third performance, instead of like using some of the examples from here, I use it from India. So that connects better.
Yeah, right. But you build rapport.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm sure like in Japan too, it would, like you would kill it there. But if you have like say some of the references from there, and I think like some comics said it very beautifully. Like he had some bit about like supermarket, like superstores, right? So every city he goes to, he figure out like which one is the most famous store, and then use that instead of like its original. So that kind of makes sense. People can relate.
Yeah, to me that's just really just not being arrogant.
Yeah.
You know, you come to a city, you want to try to learn some things about the city so that you can reference their city for them.
Right.
And that they can fall into it.
Right.
That's just,
Yeah, that's it's cool when I see some of the comics do that. Like at Punchline, a lot of traveling comics show, right? So, and Punchline is amazing spot, especially for comics.
Oh, absolutely.
Marcy, she's such a sweetheart, and she allows like comics to come and watch different headliners.
Yeah.
So I've seen like some of the headliners do the same thing, like use Atlanta's reference. So obviously, that kind of like connects well with the.
It's just
people.
messed up when you get the reference wrong.
Yeah.
That's when it's bad.
Yeah.
'Cause I've seen several comics.
100%. Yeah.
They mean to talk about Buckhead,
Right.
but they said Bankhead.
Oh, yeah.
Or vice versa. They
Right.
said Bankhead, but they meant Buckhead.
Right.
And those two are so different from each other.
Yeah.
That it's
Two
like
different,
you just let
vibes
everybody
altogether.
know you don't know what the hell you talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that's good, man. So what's next?
Next, I'm heading north from here. So I'm going to Nashville and Asheville. I'm not sure how many shows I'd be able to do that at both of those places.
Yeah.
But at the very least, I'll get some travel time. I'm gonna explore the city and nature. Like I love to do that. So from there, I'm heading to New York. And New York and Boston are the next two cities I'm like aiming for.
Yeah. You hadn't done New York yet?
I did maybe like 2 or 3 shows because I was there only for like a couple days.
Yeah.
So I didn't had opportunity to explore the comedy scene like in detail.
Yeah, New York scene is awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm planning to be there for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I can. How I work, so I can like at least make a good run of like all the major shows and mics happening.
Nothing but respect, bro. Let's get in here, man, and go get on this stage, baby. You know what I mean?
Thank
and
you,
we'll be back in a minute. Black Box LOL, we in here. Vineet. Oh, Vineet, tell them where they can find you.
Hey, follow me on my Instagram at vineet.comedy. It's VINEET.comedy. Also on YouTube, I have this channel called Take a Stand Up. I fucked that up. Take a Stand Up, and follow me there. And yeah, follow my journey because I'm coming up with like a new app which gonna be like a great addition in art industry and whatnot. So that's a story for another time. But stay in touch. Cheers.
Yeah. All right, and back to you, Earth, and that ugly ass chair you be sitting in. Bye. Yeah. All right. Whatever. I don't even understand why he said it about my chair. I mean, the chair ain't. Y'all think the chair ugly? I don't think the chair ugly. I think first of all, the chair is an heirloom. You know what I mean? One of the elders gave me this, man. You know what I'm talking about? So the chair gonna stay whether you like it or not. But I'm just saying, I think it's a good looking chair, though. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't see what's wrong with the chair. But anyway, okay. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that episode. I got more coming. We got this guy coming up. Yeah, and he's a complete idiot. And then we got this guy coming up who was also a fool. So y'all enjoy it. We got these two coming up within the next 2 weeks, and more to come after that, man. So y'all stay tuned. Black Box LOL. Oh, also, I'm getting ready to release another video on these implants. We got to talk about these implants, man. AI and all of that, man. The technology is going crazy, man. You know what I'm talking about? It's going crazy. We got to dive into it, man. You know what I'm talking about? So, hey, until next time, man. Well, next time being tomorrow. Anyway, Black Box LOL. Y'all know how we do it already.